Oh, strange and charmed, oh, strange and charmed, 25 days of Vlogmas. Hello, my strange and charmed ones, and welcome back to my channel for Vlogmas Day 6. Today is Friday, December 5th, and I am like in my last ditch effort to like rally all of my productivity and get some work done before Mike and I leave for vacation tomorrow. So we are back in my office, and you may have noticed that I'm sitting at a different level than some of the furniture in my office, which is pretty regular for me. That's my sofa back there. That's my actual chair that I sit in at my desk when I'm sitting at my desk. But to be completely honest, you guys, ever since I've been doing like crafting, making inserts, doing all Filofax stuff, the place that I sit the most in my office is on the floor because my printer is on the floor under my desk. And I am using my printer right now. I am actually in my last stages of putting up the A5 printables on my shop. As soon as I made that printables video for 2015, I got a billion questions asking me if I was going to do A5 inserts, and so I started working on A5 inserts. And finally, I'm just doing final test prints right now. And I have to do some photography today for the site and put those up. So by the time you watch this video, Lord willing, if Santa Claus is coming to town, hopefully there will be A5 printables up on my shop. I want to get this done before I leave for vacation, and I was able to get a whole bunch of work done this week on it pretty unexpectedly. I had really like a productive time with my work, so it looks like I will probably get them up probably today or tonight, and then by the time you see this tomorrow, they will definitely be up. But of course, as soon as everything really is up, I'll make posts about it, and I will obviously, you know, put it on my Instagram, my Twitter, and I'll let people know. So I thought that right now, while I was doing this, it might be a good time to talk to you guys about using my printables and how you actually print them. Now, my printables are designed to be printed double-sided. Depending on your printer, if your printer does it or not, and if your printer does not do it, I'll say that I've designed my printables to print as easily as possible if you have the most standard run-of-the-mill printer in the entire world. Now, I don't have the most standard run-of-the-mill printer in the entire world. I have a duplex printer, which means that it will print double-sided, but I still actually prefer to print my pages one side, flip them, and do the other. So I thought, you know what, let me go ahead and show you guys how I print these, and then maybe like a little overview of me cutting them and punching them, just so you guys can kind of see how easy it is. Because I know with printables, a lot of times people can get scared. Even if you have a printer in your house and you use it frequently, you're like, oh, I don't understand the ordering and, you know, all that stuff. It isn't really up to you to have to understand the ordering. I have to understand the ordering when I'm creating them, so that when you print them, all you do is print them in order, and you should be fine. So let me go ahead and change around the camera angle, and I think I need to pop my light down in there because it's pretty dark under my desk. So I will go ahead and do that, and you guys can actually see me printing and cutting and punching and how easy it really is to print my printables. Okay, you guys, so I think you have a good little view of my printer right here. And I've got a set of printables that I need to print, and these are my week on 2 pages. Now, I don't expect you to be looking at my computer right now. Number one, because not all computer screens look the same and not all applications look the same when you're printing. So we have to kind of keep those as like neutral ground, because what you are printing with may be different than what I'm printing with. But I just want to give you guys a general idea of how these work. So I've got a printable up. It's my week on 2 pages, and I'm going to go ahead and go into my print settings. Okay, so this insert is a rather big insert because it's a week on 2 pages. It's actually 61 pages long, technically 60 if you discount the first page, which is just information about the printable. So when I'm going in to print my pages, and I with the intention of doing them double-sided, the first thing that I like to do is go in and I will change the print range from 1 to whatever amount of pages it is. In this case, it's 61. And I change that to 2 to whatever the number of pages are. Now, for the purposes of this video, I'm actually only going to print, let's go print 2 to 7. I just want to print a few test pages to show you guys how to do this, because this is a very long insert to print. So I have, in my range, I've changed it to 2 instead of 1. And then I've also given myself, I'm only printing up to page 7. Now, another thing that I do in my print settings or whatnot is I will change the settings from changing all the pages, from printing all the pages to printing only the even numbered pages, which is what my pages actually start on. My pages start on page 2, technically, not page 1. So I like to print my evens first so that we can reorder the pages and then print the odd numbers on the back. So I've gone and done that in my settings, and I'm just going to go ahead and press print. And let's move my computer out of the way. So one of the important things about when you're printing is reordering the pages as you go. So right now we're printing just the even pages. And so as the pages come out, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and flip them down. So that was page 2. Here's technically page 4. All I'm doing is flipping it down. And then here is page 6, flipping it down. Now, I'm not sure how much you guys saw of that, okay? But basically how this results is I want to reinsert the pages into my printer the order that they actually came out. So because my printer is a duplex printer, it will actually, when my pages are actually faced up and the back is blank, that is how we insert them. So this came out, this was the first page that just printed, page 2, then page 4, then page 6. And they're in order, back in the right direction, and I'm putting them back into my printer where the paper is. And then I'm going to go ahead and again print 2 through 7, but in this instance you would print 2 to whatever the last page number was for your insert. And then I'm going to print just the odd pages. And I'm going to hit print. So essentially you print half of the files of the page, of the insert, and then the other half, so that they actually are two-sided, true two-sided inserts. So that's now page 3 printed on the back of page 2. Here comes out page 5, printed on the back of page 4. And 7's coming out on the back of page 6, okay? So as you can see, these are now in order, printed front to back. So let me go ahead and reposition the camera so you guys can see actually how I cut these. Okay, you guys, so now that my pages have printed, like I said, I've only printed a few sheets just to give you guys an idea of how these are ordered. You come to the part where you need to actually do the cutting. Okay, so you're looking at these inserts, and in all of my inserts, I actually provide a guide for cutting in one place or another. So you're looking at this side of the sheet, but you can see I don't have any printing guides on this side. But if you flip it over, I do have a light gray guide for where you divide these inserts down the center, because these are A5 inserts, these ones specifically. Not all of my inserts have the exact same cutting guide, because the size does kind of regulate that for me. But I do have cutting guides on there. So on this insert, for example, it's right down the center on one side of the sheet. So all I do is I line this up, make sure that I'm lining up my cutting guide with the line on my paper trimmer, and I just go ahead and slice it. So these are great. This is what's wonderful about having an A5 size insert, is that you can just use one full piece of paper and you cut it in half and there's not even any scraps or anything, which is pretty awesome. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this paper trimmer over to the side so that we can talk about how these are ordered. So when you first initially look at these, they may not make any sense to you, right? But the way that I like to think about my inserts is that when it comes to your Filofax planner, there is a left-hand side page and a right-hand side page. And in the center are your rings. So what I always like to start off with is my right-hand side page. Because that is technically the first page that you see in the beginning of a planner, and with any inserts, that's always the first marked page. So, on a week on 2 pages, for example, it starts with the Thursday. Now, that's just my actual physical inserts that start that way. Another week on 2 pages, the right-hand side might start with Friday or might start with Wednesday, who knows. But I always start with in this case, with my Thursdays, which would be my right-hand side. So, let me make sure you're in frame. Okay, just making sure you guys are in frame. So, as you can see here, or maybe you can't, I'll just try to illustrate for you. In this hand, the date starts with November 2014, Thursday the 20th. And in this hand, I've got November 2014, Thursday the 27th. So clearly, the 20th is the earlier date. So what I do is I will take the page that has the 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and I will take it and I will flip it and put it downward. So the Monday is showing. Now, that ended with the Sunday the 23rd, and now Monday starts the 24th, 25th, 26th, right? So then the next Thursday needs to be the 27th, and I just put them together. I kind of flop them on top of each other the way you're going to be, you would be flipping through the pages of your Filofax, right? So then this ended with Sunday the 30th of November and starts with Monday the 1st. So then it goes through the 3rd, and then we've got Thursday the 4th through Sunday the 7th. Flip that over. Monday the 8th through Wednesday the 10th will be paired up with Thursday the 11th through the 14th, right? Then here we end with a 17. Here's the 18. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, and this is the last page because we go 22nd to 24th. This starts with 25. When you have those 2 piles, you've seen that I started with 1 pile and it alternates. So once you lay them out in the right direction, all you got to do is alternate piles and flip and create a final pile with all of your pages in them in a row. Okay, so the final piece of the puzzle when creating your own inserts is obviously going to be punching your inserts. You can see here I've got my open hole punch. This is actually an adjustable hole punch that goes from A5 down to like the pocket or the mini size, which I don't even have a Filofax that small, so I've never actually punched it. But right now I do have my guides lined up for A5. All I do is I take my pages, and obviously, like I said, this is the right-hand side page, which means that my punches will go on this side, and I've accounted for that with my inserts, obviously giving you more room on the sides where the actual punches will go, so it doesn't impede on your inserts too much. Then I just line it up and punch. And then there we go. We've got the inserts, and as you flip them, they're in order for their days of the week and month, right? And you guys may also notice I even have the week number on these inserts for the week on 2 pages. That was some feedback I'd gotten from some users that they really enjoyed having the week numbers of the year in there. So I did put that in there for people. So I hope that was a helpful little tutorial for you guys.
See, so printing inserts really isn't that difficult. You know, calendar inserts can kind of seem intimidating, but really once you understand that the way the printouts work and the way the process works, it really isn't that hard to do print at home, and I actually prefer it. As you guys know, maybe you do know, maybe you don't know, I don't know how long you've been following me for, but I'm going to assume that you may have realized about me that I create all my own printables. I always have since I first started with the Kiki K Filofax style planner. I always make my own inserts. I had a desire to do it myself because I wasn't really interested in what was out there. Now, for a period of time, I did use the Filofaxy print on demand. Their free printables that they had, which were working out fine for me to test out different, different layouts and things like that, which I think those are great for. But they look kind of generic, and they're supposed to. So, you know, I wanted something a little bit more feminine and a little bit more, I don't know, just something a little bit more elegant and to my taste, you know what I mean? Instead of having inserts that really either looked too girly, like sometimes if you go to like Staples or office supply stores, depending on what country you live in, you know, there are refills for planners that you can purchase at those stores sometimes that'll fit certain planners. And for instance, like I know that like the Daytimer, I think is the brand, or Day Runner, anything that's geared towards women for them is overly floral and pink, which to me is just too much. And then any standard inserts you get are just too businesslike, just way too formal, you know, sorts of like I work in an office and we all wear gray suits to work sort of a thing. So you know, I make my own so that I can have the style that I want. And because you know, I do have the skills and, you know, the proper software to really make really good, high quality, you know, inserts, you know, this is why I make them, and I make them available on my shop thanks to you guys who have wildly requested to have them for sale. So I do this for you guys. So let me know how you guys like my inserts, you know, the process for printing them, how you feel, if it's, you know, easy or difficult or whatnot. Like I said, I personally like printables, one, because I get to control the style when I'm creating them myself, and two, because if I accidentally destroy a page or something, which has happened before, I can just go ahead and reprint the page. You know what I mean? I can reprint, recut, put it back in. Same thing, if I buy another planner, like let's say I buy another personal size planner, maybe it comes with inserts, maybe it doesn't. I have my own printables and I can just print them out as much as I want. So, you know, that's the beauty of having printables. But I know not everybody has a printer at home. And I've, you know, I have discussed it with some people who've reached out to me that said, you know, I really like your printables. Do you print them and ship them? And the answer is honestly, you guys, honestly, no. And the reason for that is because it does take a really good amount of time sitting down and cutting and printing and all that stuff. It doesn't take, you know, it doesn't take a tremendous amount of time when you're doing it just for yourself. You know, it's fun. You do it with a cup of coffee, maybe put on some TV and, you know, just kind of do it and relax and just kind of, you know, craft and hobby away in your Filofax. But for the amount of orders, you guys, that I've received on my site already, on my shop, I would still be I'd be working well into 2015, cutting and printing and things like that. Now there may be other shops that do make those available to you guys, you know, print and ship and things like that. Maybe other smaller shops, or maybe shops that are working with professional printers who can kind of batch the work and get it done for you. But it would take me forever to fulfill the orders, number one, and number two, I'd have to raise the cost. And I don't want to do that. Like, I'm a Filofax person too. Like, I know how kind of costly this sort of hobby is, and this like organization method can become. It isn't costly, and I don't want to deter anybody out there who's like, oh, it's so expensive to own a Filofax. It doesn't have to be. But I know that, you know, with all different inserts and all different add-ons, I'm trying to keep my prices to as low as possible, but also reflecting a proper way to honor my time in the price. So for the fact that my printables are, you know, you can print them out as much as you want, put them in all your planners. You don't have to buy a set of, you know, printables from a shop for every one of your planners. You can buy one set of my printable inserts, print them out for all your planners of a certain size. I think that that's a value. So I hope that I am providing a value to you guys and providing a service that you guys are enjoying. So yeah, feel free to leave me comments on any other inserts you guys want me to create. When I get back from vacation, I think I'm going to probably, you know, start kind of reaching out to you guys a little bit more to find out some additional inserts that you guys would like for me to create. But if you guys have any, you know, ideas, let me know. Just so you know, I already have the skeleton, I guess you could say, of a meal planning system, as well as a student tracker for college students, but it could also be, you know, manipulated if you're in high school, or, you know, if you have a child in, you know, grade school and you want them to, you know, keep a little planner with, you know, their to-dos for school. I also have that sort of package, already a skeleton created for that, but I haven't really started any real work on it, but I'm planning to do that in the new year. So yeah, if you guys have any other printable things that you guys would like from me or you think are helpful, let me know, because, you know, I can't promise I'm going to make every printable for you guys, but definitely if I think that there is a gap in availability currently out there for a nice printable for X, Y, and Z. If I can figure out a good way to lay it out, something that I think, you know, deserves my stamp of approval, then definitely it's something you could probably, you know, expect to see in the future. So thank you guys so much for watching day number 6 here. Now let me go get my Filofax so I can talk about my 12 days of holiday cheer giveaways. Okay, so on the 6th day of holiday cheer, MissTrenchcoat gave to me the task tracker printable. So if you guys have seen my task tracker or have not seen it, I will pop it up here so you guys can see. The winner of my day 6 will receive a set of my task tracker printables, which are really helpful. They're really great inserts to kind of add in to your planner for you know, completing sort of reoccurring tasks or one-off tasks. It gives you a nice amount of space, and you have a little tick box for what day of the week, you know, you've done the activity on, or if it's a, you know, an activity that you do multiple days a week, you have a way to track it. So how do you win my task tracker? You're going to have to head on over to my Twitter account. I'll have links down below. And you will just need to be subscribed to my Twitter and retweet my Vlogmas Day 6 tweet with my video in it. So go ahead over to my account. It'll already be up by the time you're watching this. Make sure you subscribe to my Twitter and retweet that tweet if you would like my task tracker printable, okay? And like I said, with all of my giveaways, I am going to pick the winners on the 13th. Contact you guys, find out what sizes you want, because again, the task tracker does come in 2 different sizes, A5 and personal. So find out what size you guys want, and I'll be doing a lot of printing and cutting, but this is something that I'm glad to do for a selection of winners who've been engaged in my community. So I hope you guys have been enjoying these giveaways and these Vlogmas videos, and I will see you guys in the next video, okay? See ya!